Hello, my dears, and welcome to my channel. As always, I'm very happy and grateful that you've chose to spend your time with me and supporting my channel. Really easy. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and click on the notification bell of when you'd like to be notified of when I drop a new video. And I hope that you're all doing well, but I hope that if you're not, things will get better for you soon. But if you want to forget about things for just a little while, join me in meeting MJ's Magpie Tarot. And this was created by MJ Cullinane, and it retails for $48 at her shop. And I will put that link in the description below so you can go over and check out her website. She is taking pre-orders on this deck, and the date that it ends is December 31st, and they'll ship out mid-January. This is the first edition, and she's doing a second printing, and she only does small batches at a time. If you're not familiar with MJ Cullinane, she did the Crow Tarot, and it would probably take me like 5-10 minutes just to tell you all of the decks that she's coming out with. And her most famous one is the Crow Tarot. And a little bit of background is she stopped doing mass market decks. I think if I remember correctly, her and Hay House had a little fallout, and with all of her decks being copied, and that happens when you are a deck producer. A lot of copy, fraudulent ones are out there, and so for a factor of numbers, she decided to go independent and solo, and she puts out little batches of her decks, so many, and then she just ships them out, and she produces them herself now. She's just a one-woman show. And so this particular deck is a collection from some of her previous decks. She's put in the Crow Tarot, the Wise Dog Tarot, the Grimalkin's Curious Cats, Guardians of the Night, for Haxa Tarot, I hope I said that right, Raven's Dream, Unfinished Business, Garden of Enchanted Creatures, and some never before seen cards from an upcoming unnamed deck. And she has started to use bags because, as everybody knows, everything's gone up. So she's chosen to go with these bags instead of boxes. And it's just a, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the name of it, but it's kind of a rough kind of cotton, I think. Cotton? I could be wrong. If somebody knows the material in this, drop it in the comments below. I cannot think of what it is. It's not scratchy, but it's not soft. It's not like silk or anything like that. And she gave me Page of Swords from one of her, just a little picture. She threw that in, which is always a nice touch when you get extra things from creators. And it comes with this lovely guidebook. I really like it. It's kind of chunky. I don't know how many pages, and I didn't really feel like counting them out, but there's a lot of pages. I'll just say that much. Sometimes I get lazy and I'm like, I just don't want to count that many pages out. And I looked on her website and it doesn't have the count, so I was hoping I could get it that way, but no dice. All right, so in my tarot videos, if you are familiar, you know what I'm going to say. If not, I use a Rider-Waite or Rider-Waite-Smith deck to do a side-by-side comparison, so you kind of get an idea. And for the side-by-side comparison, I have been using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and it's produced by US Game Systems, and you can get this. You could try US Game Systems. It should have it in stock. If not, Amazon, because Amazon sells everything. All right, so the cards themselves are a little bit bigger than your standard tarot. As you can see, they are a little bit bigger. And the dimensions are 5 inches height, across is 3 inches, and the width of the deck itself is 1.5. Cardstock is 400 GSM. All right, so let's go ahead and flip through this deck. Oh, and reversals will not be revealed. Just throwing that out at ya. So if you have all of these decks, I mean, it's totally up to you if you don't want to get this one. I just really like all of her decks, and I have certain creators that they have a new deck coming out. Gotta collect it. But this is an interesting mishmash of previous decks. And I also will be putting out her next deck. I think it's called the Coastal Crow and Raven Tarot. And I will be doing a video on that next. And in the guidebook, it says where the card comes from, which deck it comes from. That's pretty. Okay, so she's pretty much kept it consistent, hasn't changed any of the titles of the cards. And next, go into the swords. Poor kitty. And some of the cards have the suit symbol. Okay. Yeah. Next we have the cups. I know, I'm kind of on this deck right now. I haven't had a chance to work with it because I just got it. So we'll see. We will see. I love raccoons. Okay, that is the cups. And next we have the wands. And last, as always, we have the Pentacles. Okay, and that is the deck. I do like her her artwork, and I like the collage style that she uses, because there's always something to look at each time you do the cards. Okay, so cardstock is thick, but it's still bendy. But it is on the thicker side, just to let you know. Okay, so let's look at this guidebook. And got her thank you to her daughter. And an introduction. Basically just going a history for about the decks that she created, and you can pause and read that at your leisure. And she just talks about each of the decks that are in this deck. And talks about the creation of them and kind of how they came about. And she has a new deck that she's going to be coming out with. She's working on a fox themed tarot deck because she moved to an island and there's some foxes on there, so she got her creative inspiration, so she's going to be coming out with a future deck. And then we go into the cards, and there's no images, and basically you get the title of it, the deck that it comes from, keywords, and she doesn't do reversal meanings. She just doesn't do them. And then goes into the illustration background, and then the meaning of the card, and then talks about the symbolism. She doesn't do this for every single card, but she does most of it. The title, what deck it is, keywords, and then talks about the illustration and the meaning. Like I said, there's no symbolism on this one, so it's just different. It could be the same or different with all of them, but that's basically how the guidebook is set up for. And there are some longer ones, like I said, like the Hierophant. She's got all these symbolisms. She's got at least a couple pages about the symbolisms. And then she gives a question, journaling question you can ask yourself. And then we go into the minor section. And it's basically the same thing. You have the title, the deck name, the keywords, and talks about the illustration and the meaning. And then, yeah, see, sometimes she'll put in symbolism. So it's not repetitive for the guidebook meanings. They're all a little different. Just flipping through it so you kind of get an idea. And then we have a quick reference guide for each of the cards. And the end. There's no spreads in this book. If you're interested in spread books, if you go on her website, she has an e-library, and she has a lot of guidebooks in the e-library if you're interested. I'm not sure how much it is now. When I signed up for it, I think it was like $10. She might have raised the price by then, but yeah, there's just a whole ton of guidebooks you can get out of the e-library. I think it's worth the money. If you like the PDFs, if you want to print out your own, or if you want to do an online, with your phone with the guidebook, I think that's also handy. But that is pretty much all I have for that. Okay, so shuffling might be a little bit difficult because they are longer cards and they are stiff. But yeah, if you're gonna struggle, you can. There's no right or wrong way to shuffle. You can do the rifle shuffle, but I don't know. I will probably do the overhand for this deck. Okay. Because they are so long, it's really hard. Yeah, I don't have long fingers or anything. If you have average hands, you're probably going to struggle doing it rifle shuffling. Or you can cut them into different piles. You can do the fan. You could try to do the fan. Or you could just, just put them all over your table and shuffle them out. But I'm just going to do the overhand shuffle. It's the easiest. I'd side shuffle, no. Most cards I can't even do side shuffling, so. Alright, so let's see what card wants to pop up. The Ace of Swords. Okay. Let's see what the Ace of Swords has to say. Okay, so this is from the Hexa deck. I don't know how to pronounce it right. Or I did and don't know that I did. Okay, so we have keywords: clarity, truth, breakthrough. High on the mountaintop, covered in poppies, one can see the entire land of Hexa. It was here that I stumbled across a fairy, bravely facing a flurry of shadows and the demons that reside within the dark crevices of the land. This all-powerful creature was not intimidated in the slightest. It did not cower in fear or try to hide. No matter what I did, was called forward with the force and determination, the energy of intense light to see each shadow and demon as clear as day, In the light, the fairy understood their weakness and with a sonic boom blasted them out of existence. The Ace of Air offers the clarity to recognize an obstacle as it is forming, allowing you time to formulate a winning strategy of attack. When we encounter this creature on our journey, the truth behind our circumstances come into focus. It is here that we begin to understand better the patterns that may emerge routinely in our lives. The Ace of Air offers support when we need to see a situation objectively, not just how we wish it to be. There is one warning here, and that to be aware of your heart masking a desired outcome as the truth, as it may cloud your judgment. Look for areas where you have been less than honest with yourself. It is much easier to slay the inner demons than to often disrupt our lives when we face them in the light. Okay, that's a nice card. All right, so that is all I have for this deck. Let me know what you think of it. If you're going to put it on your wish list or you're going to buy it after seeing my video, let me know. If it's not your thing, you know, you can say that as well and say your reasoning, because I know that since she's gone independent, she has just put out so many new decks, and I mean, I understand. I think that's her bread and butter. I don't think she has another job or anything, so this is pretty much what she does. And if you want to support her, that's great, you know. But if you own it, let me know how it's working out for you, and you can let other people know as well. But once again, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I hope you will join me with another video. But until next time, take care and goodbye, my dears.